This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazelton Standard Speaker.
The Hazelton Area Public Library continues to come up with creative ways to keep people reading and writing. Hello everyone, we're recording this newscast on Earth Day, so happy Earth Day to all of us here, and let's continue to work to make our planet a great place to live. I'm Ken Kara, thank you for watching, and here's your local information. I planted some flowers over the weekend. I think I did a good job, we'll see. I bet the students in the North Schuylkill School District have more success than me with their pollinator garden. Students in the Schuylkill Achieve After School program worked on the garden this week at the North Schuylkill Elementary School, and it will help bees, butterflies, and more in the area. A report in the Standard Speaker says financial support for the garden came from a grant from the Xerces Society for Invertebrate Conservation. In other news, the Hazelton Area Public Library is still trying to figure out what to do with a historic church it purchased. St. Paul's United Methodist Church is right near the library's downtown Hazelton location. Library Board President John Beltrami says continued ownership isn't in the library's best interest, but they are still looking for ways to save the building, and we'll talk more about the issue next week. Kelly Monitz has more on this story at standardspeaker.com. Right now, our Lisa Sugar gets some details on some programs going on at the library.
Things are getting back to normal at the Hazelton Area Public Library. Here to tell us the very latest is Michelle Kujmeter. She is the executive director at the library. Michelle, I'm happy for you that you're going back to normal hours. How does that feel?
We're a little nervous about it, but we're excited to be going back. The staff will be back in the building full time. So we've expanded our hours at the library, at the main library, and at our branches. But we are still cautious about it. It's not just a fling open the doors. We're still going to have the social distancing in place, mask wearing. We're still going to say, put all your returns in our book box. So there's still caution to it. And we also still watch the data. So it's not to say that we won't have restrictions down the line. If local cases rise above a certain point, we would look to, peel back our hours a little bit.
You're still going to have some services available for those who don't feel comfortable still coming back to the library yet, correct?
We will offer our curbside service that you can request your materials and pick them up. Right now, they're still in our lobby because of the weather. But we had in the summer, we were doing things outdoors even. We would have our curbside outside. We also have mobile printing that people can send things from their phone or from their home computer to be printed out and pick those up in our lobby as well.
Now, Michelle, I understand there are some creative things happening directly outside the library, and that's in celebration of a special month. So tell us what's happening with that.
We have a few areas around the building that are painted with a sidewalk chalk, so it is washable. We may have to redo this, but they're painted with short spring poems for National Poetry Month.
Speaking of it being Poetry Month, they can also send you a poem. You're looking for poems to be sent into the library. Tell us about what you're going to do with those.
Specifically looking for haikus, and we are going to publish our first ever poetry magazine from the library based on the submissions. And we're accepting them in person or through our website or Facebook. We have a Google form set up that you can upload your haiku for submission.
You're very creative at the library. I must give you that credit. And speaking of happening outside the library, you told me there are story walks happening, and this is a really neat idea as well. What's that all about?
Our library has a story walk, and we have it currently at the McAdoo-Calares Elementary School, and it's great for the students now if they get a chance to go outside, either during their classes, between classes, after school, to read a story outside. And it goes page by page from the book, and you walk ever so many feet and you get to the next page of the story. And it's great for discussion. It's great for a small group of kids to, be socially distant but do the story. And we place these at various locations. We rotate them around. We've worked with Hazelton Rails to Trails to have one there. We've had one in our Nuremberg. Our branch areas tend to get the story walks. So now that the weather is better, we'll be placing them in different areas, and we'll promote that and announce it ahead of time.
when so many kids were at home. I mean, many now going back to school, but I would think these programs have been really instrumental to a lot of families.
To just bring a little bit of like normal routine to the kids, that, you know, if you did crafts, if you came to a program, we tried to bring it to the family where they were and bring the library to them. And our staff has worked hard to adapt and modify things and just really be creative with bringing the library outside of a building, outdoors. You know, even the poetry on the sidewalk, the staff came up with this, we paint our sidewalk. I said, not permanently, but it was a great idea to just bring a little color and fun outdoors and highlight poetry as, you know, a reading material and maybe spark some interest in it. But we've tried to do that, to adapt and just bring the library out.
I know one of the most popular things each and every summer is the summer reading program at the library. So is that a go for this year?
It'll have an online component where people can track their books read, and we do this for children and also for adults. We've offered an adult reading club that they can track their reading and possibly win prizes at the end of the summer. And we will also do story times and programs online, but we are also trying to plan programs that are outdoors, that we could do some in-person programming. And that's all just in the planning stage and still, you know, waiting on numbers and permissions from various locations. But even our branch areas will look to go outside of our buildings and do some programming.
Today's news feature is brought to you by Frankie's Pizzeria and Restaurant on Wyoming Street in Hazelton. Stop by Friday and Saturday nights for all-you-can-eat crab legs starting at 5 p.m. Also, check out Frankie's new hours and their specials on their Facebook page.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
Here's our forecast from the National Weather Service. On Friday, it's sunny with a high in the 50s. Friday night, mostly clear with a low in the 30s. Saturday, there's a chance of rain after 2 p.m., partly sunny with a high near 60 degrees. Saturday night, rain likely mainly after 8 p.m., mostly cloudy with a low in the 40s. Sunday, a chance of rain before 2 p.m., partly sunny with a high in the 50s. Sunday night, mostly cloudy with a low in the 30s. Monday is sunny with a high in the 50s, and Monday night, mostly clear with a low around 40 degrees. Now it's time for the SSPTV Standard Speaker Scoreboard. Riley Hudock and Casey Kilker both had hat tricks in Hazelton area's girls lacrosse win over North Pocono. Hazelton lost in boys tennis. In softball, Lauren Daniels collected 3 hits, including a home run in Hazelton's win over Wilkes-Barre area. Maddie Hall had 3 hits in a North Schuylkill victory. North Schuylkill also won in baseball with Jackson Chowanski driving in 4 runs. In college baseball, Penn State Hazelton and Penn State Schuylkill split a series. Penn State Hazelton got a sweep in softball over Penn State Schuylkill. Coming up, a look at some special senior nights for MMI prep teams that didn't get to play this year because of the pandemic. And next, a story on hands-only CPR.
The Hazelton City Cleanup will be held on Saturday, April 24th. If you would like to participate in the event, you can call Lauren Sacco at 570-579-8500. SSPTV News would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of Jeffrey H. Brolian, age 57, of Hazelton. A graveside service will be held at the Calvary Cemetery on April 29th under the direction of the McNulty Funeral Home. Today's social and obituary report is brought to you by Harmon Funeral Homes and Crematory. Call 570-788-0977 or go to harmonfuneral.com.